Who did you cast your vote for in the 2019 Crunchyroll Awards?
Listening to the Clash KO podcast.
This is the show where we talk about why anime sparks so much passion among its fans.
I'm Colton Cruz.
Brianna Marshall.
And Wyatt Garland.
Like what you hear, like what you see, subscribe to YouTube or your podcast platform of your choice so you will not miss out on a knockout discussion.
Today we're going through the Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
It's that time of year again.
Yeah, I mean, they always pick a couple months. They do an Oscar. Like, this is basically the anime Oscar.
Yeah.
Except for only things streamed on Crunchyroll.
The only things that matter.
Wait, was Caroline Tuesday on Crunchyroll?
No, it was on
okay,
Netflix, but it's on the awards.
Yeah,
but it's on
but
the awards.
that's specifically why it's our votes plus a panel of judges chosen by Crunchyroll.
Yeah, so it is the Oscars, right?
Yeah,
It's messy.
basically.
So I mean, it only makes it more like the Oscars that it's unfair.
To be fair, this is honestly like one of the awards I mostly look forward to every single year. Just saying, this is the important category right here.
Yeah, it's what best anime, you know, it's what we're looking for, you know, and it really it asks real questions. I'll be looking down at like who's best boy, best girl, and that's next to like best director and best series, and I'm like, no, who the best boy is an equal value.
Yeah.
Like I need to cast my vote in that regard for sure.
Yeah. So, category 1, anime of the year.
Yeah, let's check this out.
Okay, let's see.
For Anime of the Year, the nominees are Carol and Tuesday, Demon Slayer, Mob Psycho 102, O Maidens in Your Savage Season, The Promised Neverland, Vinland Saga.
Ooh.
Now, I'll be completely honest here. I have only watched a small handful of these. I've seen a little bit of Vinland Saga,
Really?
a little bit of Promised Neverland, a little bit of Mob Psycho. Demon Slayer I watched most of.
Well,
Carol and Tuesday I've seen like the first episode.
It's like the best. The question is the best anime of the year, and I mean, I saw all of Vinland Saga, which is very good and very my style, but I'm still gonna give it to Demon Slayer. Like as far as an anime that like sparked a passion among like the community. I mean, we got the announcement for the movie. We had all that fire in that season, man. I love Vinland Saga and it's a classic, but it didn't scream anime as much as Demon Slayer did.
You know, I think I've seen all except one, and the others are very enjoyable, but I do agree with you too. It's like with Demon Slayer, it is literally, I think that's what really brought a lot of people to anime. It's we've got like a burst of cosplay. There's been a lot of memes and stuff, a lot of music videos. There's been so much media just from Demon Slayer alone.
I mean,
so
it made it in our top anime of the decade
Exactly.
episode, which if you haven't watched already, you should watch.
Just saying.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, it to us, it felt like the most influential piece of media. So
Yeah.
I'm in agreement here that Demon Slayer is my vote.
Yeah, influential. And I mean, I know a lot of people do sleep on Mob, so I did finish Mob and I finished second season. It's good.
Yeah, people who like Mob Psycho, though, really
they really like Mob Psycho.
Well, it's that type of anime, and it is very good, don't get us wrong. However, as far as like our pick, it's gonna be.
Also, to be fair, with One Punch Man Season 2, everyone loves Mob Psycho. Just saying.
Yeah.
True. All right, next category is Best Protagonist.
Okay, now
boy.
this is an important word. Okay, protagonist. All right, a couple of these answers for me didn't fit the bill.
All right.
So the nominees are Emma from The Promised Neverland, Yakimaru from Dororo, sorry.
No, it's tough.
Saitama from One Punch Man Season 2, Senku from Dr. Stone, Tanjiro Komodo from Demon Slayer, and Toru Honda from Fruits Basket.
Oh
And
boy!
this is what I'm talking about.
This is a more split category.
I don't feel like Saitama is really the protagonist of One Punch Man.
No, he's just kind of there.
Like, well, it's as far as the way the story goes, it doesn't follow him specifically.
It's not a protagonist-centric story either.
Exactly. So I don't think that's even a fair bet.
Okay.
And Senku doesn't. I mean, Senku is. He's kind of like. It's hard to describe, but basically, like he's the magic that makes everything happen, right? I don't get a protagonist vibe from him. He definitely is the protagonist, but I'm thinking about like the best.
So who's your choice then?
My choice is Tanjiro. Like,
Tanjiro.
as far as someone approaching a goal, like the story following his struggle, everything like cueing into what he's doing, his accomplishments. For me, it's Tanjiro.
Interesting. So I when I was voting multiple times, I was juggling between two, which was Emma, because The Promised Neverland. Like, it's so interesting because it's a show about children. And we don't really see a lot of anime with just children, but it's so serious. And with this young 11-year-old girl who's like, she thinks her life is perfect, but then all of a sudden she sees this like dark world on the first episode. And she's like, no, I'm going to make sure all my brothers and sisters are okay. Also, I'm going to like fight mama. I gave it really to Emma because...
Really?
I
would have thought you were on Toru Honda's side here.
Okay,
I guess she's just a trash protagonist.
No, we're gonna wait until like other categories. But I have my reason because Emma, I love Toru Honda to my heart, but for Emma, for a main character to go through that much, and she's still a child. She hasn't experienced life yet. She's got my vote.
Exactly. And I understand where you're coming from because the other two characters that could be argued as the protagonists of that series, they have their own plans, but every time Emma's like, no, we're going to do things my way.
Exactly.
Bitch.
It's like we're not going to go through these like basic like average like, oh no, this is what the protagonist does. This is what the protagonist thinks.
Yeah.
And Emma's just like, frick that. We're going to do my own way. Like I got this psychotic mother trying to kill all of us, so I'm going to get everybody alive.
She is the driving emotional force for the actual conclusion. Yeah, and she has the most strength in the series because she convinces the two boys what to do in the sense of like,
just saying,
she's a leader.
Power.
She's a real leader.
We stand a queen. We stand a leader.
See, I think protagonist being the central driving force to the end of like a series is pretty played out. So actually, I think Senku is my favorite protagonist.
Okay,
really?
Yeah, it's very unconventional.
Okay.
It feels
You're
like feels like a an unconventional shonen pick for a protagonist, right? Like,
all right.
He's very bleh and like has his creepy, skeevy kind of like moments, but not in that typical anime like where they're just gonna be edgy or something about it. I don't know. I like that he brings this perspective to what's going on in the series he's in to give us that insight into like, oh no, hey, like making somebody be able to see is like a big deal and like is really important. I don't know. I like him as that keystone.
Also, I give it to him because I'm very bad at science, and I'm just like the rest of the villagers, where I'm just like, I don't know what this magic is, and he's just like, I can show you the world. Don't worry, don't worry.
Colton just identifies as a know-it-all, so he just likes them. It's bad.
And best antagonist is the next category. All right, best antagonist.
Again, remember, this is the same deal. So it's like, yeah. So we got
Who we got?
All right, the nominees are Ayamagasi from Babylon, Angela from Carol and Tuesday, Askeladd from Vinland Saga, Garo from One Punch Man Season 2, Isabella from The Promised Neverland, Overhaul from My Hero Academia Season 4.
All right, so we need to talk about a lot of these people because
a couple of them, again, it's the same idea.
Yeah, they're not really. I don't see them as antagonists because so for those who don't know the term of antagonist, it's someone who goes up against the protagonist. But a lot of these characters are just like, I'm here, like, okay. Prime example, Caroline and Tuesday. Yeah, Angela is not an antagonist. She's just a bitch.
Everybody thinks they're Dumbo.
She's just a
nobody's a villain.
She's just this like young girl who has like success early. She's got all the money. She's like, you know what I want to do? I want to become a singer. I don't see that as an antagonist.
Well, the thing is, yeah.
She's just a bitch.
To be fair, like she is a foil. Well, I mean,
she's
not even a
rival.
She's a rival, exactly. But she's not right. I get how the show is setting it up. Maybe in season 2 or 3, and I haven't finished season 2. I know it's out yet. It's out right now. But the idea is she's not actively, maliciously attacking the main characters. She's just in the same competition.
Yeah.
Now, I understand the show will eventually get to the point where Angela's like, no, you guys, I'm going to take you down. You're bad. But, like, right now, it's mostly about the girls just trying to make it.
Yeah, that's
So,
it.
I don't feel like... I think that pick is just... That doesn't make much sense to me.
There's certain characters... Like, even, like, Garu from One Punch Man 2. I love baddies, and Garu's just not evil. He's just like, you know what? I just want to do mine.
Absolutely evil. What are you talking about?
Look, this man is just like, I don't like heroes.
Just a serial killer.
It's fine.
Thirst trap over here. Thirst trap.
First off, look, I love husbandos who are bad boys, and he's an absolute bad boy, so I can't see this as an antagonist, so it's fine.
An antagonist.
it just shows that you're problematic. No, I'm gonna say, and listen, I love Overhaul a lot. I think he's really cool, but it's Isabella is
Yes,
mom.
the mom. Mhm.
Mom, I'm familiar with her as mom. She is on those kids' asses. She is like, no,
Right,
I'm
yeah.
taking you guys down. I'm shutting this down. It's not happening.
Yep.
Overhaul kind of has like another objective that he's trying to do, and the My Hero team comes in and stops him, and then he sort of like is trying to just kill them to get them out of his way. And
Yeah.
I mean, definitely he's a good antagonist, but he's not
Yeah.
direct.
Yeah.
Like 100% like Mom is. God, Mom is, it's crazy. You can feel that tension, man. So that's my pick.
Yeah, I have to give it definitely to Isabella because again with
Call her Mom. You can call her Mom.
mom, it's so heartbreaking because it's a mother relationship. She's not the mother to these children, but it's like
For all intents and purposes,
a lot of these children see her as a mother, but then when she takes these children to this like den to like get them taken away by the demons, you can literally just see the child's face is like, you legit betrayed me. And honestly, that alone is an antagonist. How dare you do this to these poor children? Who thought that they could call you mom? That's a break of trust right there. Anyone who breaks trust, they're an antagonist right there.
Go.
There
Well,
you go.
They're the best one.
Yeah. What would you say?
I think Gaara's the best antagonist this season.
God.
I mean,
I get what you're saying.
So like,
He's
I was
malicious.
kind of between Askeladd and Gaara, honestly, a little bit. But like, I know they're like full like manga arcs, and I kind of fell in love with them in the manga.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then so like that made me like, well, Overhaul, was he the best villain? I didn't watch much of Premise Neverland, so like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll,
Right, no,
I'll
no,
you know
it's fair.
extract myself from that. Like, but like Overhaul, he has a full villain arc in
Right.
this season of anime, and that's why
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, maybe Overhaul like would be my pick. But I honestly even just prefer the unconventional Garo on it. Like, it's
that's
different.
cool.
Like,
That's cool.
He just defeats people, and I'm like,
Again,
that's cool. He's a badass.
I don't know, unenthusiastic choice for my antagonist. of the
Yeah.
year,
All right,
for
that's
sure.
fair. I don't think, because Aslan is just sort of like, he's like a rogue agent. I don't really feel like, I mean, yes, he is stopping.
He's a
Thor.
Viking.
Exactly.
So
He's a
it's
pirate.
like, yeah.
So it feels kind of strange to be like, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I feel like there were other villains we could have picked, but
It's okay. We
You know,
didn't
for
choose.
the
We
nominees.
didn't choose these
Exactly,
nominees. It's
like-
all good.
It's all Crunchyroll's fault.
That's rude.
Okay, so what do we got next?
Next up is Best Boy. So
Again,
we have
problems.
Bruno from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind, which we'll talk
we'll
about
talk
that
about
in a second. We have Hakumaru from Dororo. We have Kanata from Astra Lost in Space. We have Machio from How Heavy Are Your
Oh,
Dumbbells
yeah.
Lift? We have Mob from Mob Psycho 100. And we have Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. Now,
Okay, all right.
it's pretty easily Makio. I mean, 100%.
let's first for someone who does cosplay and loves to work out. I love that we have an anime finally. I don't think we've ever had an anime where it's just like, no, let's talk about the human body and working out and
weightlifting.
muscles
Yeah, it's cool.
and weightlifting.
It's
and
cool.
Makio he's like, I am your
Beautiful.
sensei.
It's a
I'm your
beautiful
teacher.
character design.
Exactly.
It's a joke. Like, I get it. It's a gimmick. It's a gag. Like Saitama is in One Punch Man.
Yeah.
Right.
But the thing is, like, I don't mind our best boy in an anime being a gag character versus, like, you know, like, I would never vote Saitama for best protagonist.
No.
Kind of for the reasons we discussed
Yeah.
already.
Right,
But
right.
Makio, perfect character actor style, like, you
I
know,
think-
character
yeah.
design done for me.
Best
Like,
boy has got to bring a smile to your face. I
Yes.
completely agree
Yeah.
with you. I understand what you're talking about. And I mean, Bruno was a weird. I don't even know why he's here.
Yeah, Bruno
Bruno's
shouldn't be
not
on
a
this
boy.
list. He's
Bruno is a man.
Exactly.
Bruno is
He's
a
a man or a
father.
mom. One or the other.
Exactly. We can't have
He
no
is
boy. No.
A parental figure.
Exactly.
He's not a small boy. I watched all of Mob. I really like Mob. I think his growth is cool. So, and I think it's charming. Like, for me, like, he's very
Sure,
charming.
yeah, that's fair.
And I feel like seeing his sort of, because a lot of times it's a little bit weird watching these character dramas from Japan, because you're like, are they in high school or middle school? Like, you're kind of a little
Yeah.
bit like, because it's a little bit different than it is over here, but you can clearly tell that Mob is in middle school, and it reads as like this sort of like, no, I'm going through, my self-confidence, and it's tough, but I'm finding my way, and I'm approaching emotions, and I'm like, dude, you do that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. Like, you're killing it out here. And Tanjiro is just
He's a
He's a
That's the
protagonist,
thing. I
right.
guess in these categories, I don't like voting for main characters of characters that are in ongoing series, especially too, because kind of like the thing I said with Overhaul is like, like I'd consider him for villain because his entire villain arc like fell in this year. But like All for One or like Shigaraki, like in that category, it's like no, he hasn't done his villain.
Yeah,
you gotta look.
And Tanjiro,
at...
I feel like that's the same thing. It's like no, he's in an ongoing series.
Yeah, he feels like more of a unit as far as like.
Exactly.
And I feel with Tanjiro, it's just like the relationship we see with him and Nezuko, and then him and the boys, and then just like how he's fighting the demons, and then once they leave, it's like he's very respectful. I don't see him as best boy. I just see him as a very respectful and sweet boy.
Yeah.
There's a difference between best boy and sweet boy.
Best boy, you want to pat on the head.
Yes.
And I want to pat Mob on the head. That's
Yeah.
I want to be like, you're
You're
good.
doing your best,
You're
child.
great.
You're doing your best. All right, next category is best grill.
The question.
So we have Caroline from Caroline and Tuesday. We have Chica from Love is War. We have Emma from The Promised Neverland. We have Tinkerbell. We have Kohaku from Dr. Stone. We have Nezuko from Demon Slayer. And we have...
Raphtalia from The Rising of Shield Hero.
I have never
that's
seen...
an easy pick.
Wait, I've never seen Shield Hero. Go ahead with the comments. I've heard a lot of hype. I've seen a lot of cosplay of her, but...
Okay, so
Explain. Thank you,
Raphtalia,
Cole. Explain.
She is waifu bait. Like she is.
Okay.
She's you remember we had like Asuna and then we had Rem. She is like the next this year's like, oh, this is gonna be the biggest waifu bait. It's a slave, lowly raccoon girl who is owned by the main character
Develops
and then
daddy issues.
turns into a adult woman
Yeah.
with incredible like attachment and daddy issues, and just serves him. Like, she's probably the most waifu character, but she's designed that way. That's the
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
I want a character with
personality.
personality. Not just personality.
Does she
I
not have
want angles. I want there to be depth
Okay.
and dimension to the character.
Okay.
Then look no further than Chica. Chica is my best girl. She is
the best.
amazing. I love her. She's so funny. She is so like. She's got this great positive energy. She's like the daughter of a politician, so she's very like, oh, I know how to cheese it. She's a ramen enthusiast. Like she's just when you see her show up in that ramen episode in Love is War, you're expecting. I remember when you saw that episode, you're like, what is happening here?
Yep.
And then it just ends perfectly. It's great. She's
like,
a great character.
I love Nezuko, but it's kind of the same with Tanjiro.
She's
it's just
baby.
like
She's baby.
She's not baby. So the love I have for Mochi is the love I have for Nezuko. Like
she's a child.
She's a child.
Protect.
I protect.
I would completely say that best girl does not have to be like best waifu.
Exactly.
Right, no,
I
absolutely.
think you can have. I feel that like characters like Nezuko are like that Moe sister thing or whatever.
Yeah, so it's like she's my sister. I want to protect her.
I'm like good with that being a best girl nominee though. Is that what you're feeling?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's very good that she's like a nominee, but like for best girl, which I kind of agree with you, it's just like kind of the same with like best boy. It's like I want to have like a smile on my face, like, and with Chica, it's like I do like when I see Nezuko, I'm just like, oh, my heart. But it's the same love I have for Mochi. Would I necessarily call Mochi best girl? Not necessarily, because she can be bad too.
Chica's just stronger as a candidate, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Like in comparison.
Yeah.
As far because I mean, Nezuko's great, but she doesn't get a lot of opportunity to develop because that's not.
I mean,
did you not see all?
To be fair, the whole scene with her and Tanjiro and they get together and the whole animation.
She has one line. And I mean,
yeah, and she was tied up in spiderweb. Obviously, an empowering upside down. Clearly, an empowering like position for a woman to be in.
You know, I'm gonna be different. You pick Chica. You pick Shield Hero. I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna choose. I don't know her name. I've never seen the anime. I'm gonna choose Nezuko.
Girl.
I'm gonna choose Nezuko because you know what? She is actually She is good girl.
My vote is for Nezuko.
Yeah, she is good girl.
Fair.
She's good girl.
That's fair. I was gonna say Breeze was in track. She voted 9 times. She's like, I voted for all of them, but like whatever.
Don't let the world know.
Okay, what do we got?
All right, next category is best director.
Okay.
You can hit that one up because I'm bad with names.
Tetsura Araki from Attack on Titan Season 3.
Okay.
Kyoko Suzuki from Babylon. Shinichiro Watanabe and Motonobu Hori for Carol and Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yuzuru Tachikawa from Mob Psycho 102.
Mm-hmm.
and Kunuhiko Ukuhara for Saruzanmai, and Shuhei Yabuto for Vinland Saga.
Man, Vinland Saga like 3 times already.
Directors' names are the best. Just like, here, you just say these. Like,
as far as like bringing a series to life and steering it and making sure it reads well, there was all this controversy about Vinland Saga because it is a Berserk-like, where it's like a seinen, it's a mature, it's a big epic story.
It's got a big. The manga is huge in people's minds. It's got a reputation.
So how do we translate it? And I just feel that Vinland Saga, how that was handled, how it was directed. Like, especially the ending, oh my god, like, the pacing of it, it's different. It didn't feel like a standard anime, and I because it's not, it's gonna be different, but they didn't rush it, they let it be what it is, and that took some guts, because I remember in the middle there, where they're running from Thorkiel, and it's pretty easy to get a little like, alright, this whole, like, fog of war thing, but this is, that's what the story's about, and the story never steers away from that.
When in Vinland Saga, I would say specifically, is a manga that if anybody adapting it into an anime, it begs to be changed, and like it begs you to be like, you could skip this if you were weak. Like, and
absolutely.
no, I do I definitely respect that about Vinland Saga, that they're like, no, this is a faithful adaptation of the story beats in the manga.
Yeah,
for sure.
and it nails it, and that's my pick.
So I've never seen Vinland Saga. I've never read it, watched it. This is brand new to me.
Watched a little bit.
No, I've watched it with you. So you were introduced me to the show, and I was very surprised how well developed it was. So I feel we watched Berserk. I love Berserk. The manga, the anime. we have a whole video on that, so definitely check that out. But I feel with Vinland Saga, that's something that could have been brought to with Berserk. I still see the gruttiness, the like gore, the fight, like it's like that's what I wanted to see in Berserk, and I'm really happy how well this whole story was put out. So for this director to like bring this to life and just I had to take a minute because whoa,
that's fair.
It felt real.
It felt real, and for the fact that there were like some historical figures in the show too, which I was like, he was like, yeah, that's a real person. I was like, what?
Canute is like a very important figure in European history.
It is really cool to see that this woman brought this story to life. So my vote is definitely to Vinland Saga.
See, for me, I did not see a director do more work this year, I feel like, than Attack on Titan's directors.
Okay.
Like, they made me fall in love with Attack on a Titan again. I had read it way back when it was just a manga. Didn't think anything of it. I forgot I had even read it when I watched the series.
I remember that.
Season 2 started, and we got to the end where there's the big twist, and I was like, holy shit, I have read this manga. And it had just been so inconsequential to me. But this season 3 of Attack on Titan made me just fall in love with the series. So much so that I went and read the whole manga and like caught up on it, because I was like, no, I like the way they control information, the flow of that to the audience. To me, I thought was just masterpiece level. And so for me, Attack on Titan, the work the director specifically did on it.
Yeah, the fact that the last episodes of Attack on Titan, I was still like piecing it together, and only at the bitter end, and then like after that, like later, I'm like, oh, okay, like that shows just sort of control of information. Is what you're saying. A lot of shows would feel very comfortable just being like, nah, this is it, and you're like, oh, that's an interesting twist or premise. But Attack's like, no, I mean, you're not supposed to get it all at once. We don't get it all at once. You know? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
All right. Next category is Best Animation.
Ooh.
So we have Attack on Titan Season 3, Demon Slayer. We have Fate, Mob Psycho 100, Sarazunanmai, and Vinland Saga. Okay.
Vinland had some pockets of good animation, but it wasn't the last 3 episodes specifically were incredible, but it wasn't consistent. So that erases that for me.
The Fate is obviously beautiful in moments, but it's such a the art does nothing but try and buoy a sinking, rotting corpse of like a show that. I mean, I could never count it because it's not enhancing the story, right? It's just saving what the story is.
I We've seen a little bit of Saruzanamai, but we haven't finished all of it. But
Interesting.
The mob is fantastic. It's
Well, it's got
what's it,
simple
Nakashima
design.
or whatever is like that guy. I mean, he controls the way the camera moves with the backgrounds behind
yeah.
like a static
And the
like
characters-
foreground character.
Yeah.
It's a technique, but I feel like we've seen it personally.
It's definitely the most polished form of it.
True.
Yeah.
Fair enough,
The camera
yeah.
zooms around, especially during that fight where all the psychics fight that one psychic. Like you know what fun I'm talking about.
You know what I'm
But
talking
the
about.
point is, like, yeah, it is a masterclass in a technique we've seen before. Having read the Demon Slayer manga and seeing again, it gives me that warm place in my heart where it's like, oh, this is like Attack on Titan. His art is okay, you know what I mean? It's not bad, and it's very
better.
good.
It's pretty. It's good.
Oh,
It's
it's
fine.
good.
It's good.
But it's not.
like-
It's not high. It's not like high tier or anything.
right, yeah.
But then you see this anime lovingly. Like, I mean, there is not a moment in Demon Slayer where you're like, oh, they really dropped the ball there. No. They didn't drop the ball anywhere. UFO Table's like, oh, I'm sorry. Did you want beauty?
No, I specifically had the reaction when I first started watching. I was unfamiliar with the manga, and I was like, "Is this an original like animation?" Because the quality was so good, and like the way they beat the story out in the very beginning is also very reminiscent of, "Oh, you guys are taking your time with the story. Like that's unexpected. Like this must be special." But no, I agree. My pick is definitely
It's
Yeah.
flesh.
It's 100%
out.
Demon Slayer. Like, I think we talk about it too, like, when we go to, like, conventions and stuff. We're like, you know that feeling when you watch an anime and you just have to stand up? Literally, every animated scene in Demon Slayer, I had to stand up, walk around, and just be like, let me question of what I just saw. Like, let's just process.
the movement.
Oh my
it all
God.
It
it
all
all
plays together.
It
The 1,
puts
2, 3
perfectly.
beats, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Attack on Titan looked good, but it's
But we've seen that.
looked that way since 2015.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So more of the same is still impressive.
Yep.
Again, watching Attack on Titan all
Exactly.
in one sitting is going to be incredible. But that's not what we're talking about right now.
All right.
Okay, character design. Yeah.
You do that
Okay,
one.
this is
the nominees.
Nominees are.
Okay, so it's Caroline and Tuesday, Dororo, Dr. Stone, Love is War, God, what is this? Shara
Saruzanamai.
Sarazamai, and then Vinland
Vinland
Saga.
Saga.
I'm sorry I can't pronounce these other names.
God bless it. You watch anime?
I can't even read English, all right? Like, don't at me.
So,
but the point is
Character design.
yeah, so this is an interesting one. It's like, okay, well, what did we feel was the most original?
It's
and
so weird because like Senku and are on this list, but like why wouldn't like then JoJo be on this list? Or something?
Right.
'cause
That's
those are
my
I guess
thing.
I guess the series started like in
I don't know.
It's a weird. I don't.
We're
love
JoJo
any-
fans here. We're
I
really
don't
upset
love
that
any-
JoJo didn't
yeah.
make it.
Yeah, these picks don't feel like. I mean, for Dr. Stone, one of my biggest complaints is the character design.
Then there's your vote right there. Then I mean, mine's gonna be Dr. Stone because the fact that a lot of these people were stoned, and then also Senku's hair. That's just the
I mean,
the
it's
hair
definitely-
gives it away.
That's
I'm
the
like,
thing, I go through this
applause.
list of nominees and I'm like, well, he's the only one who's not just a regular dude.
Exactly.
Right. No, but it's difficult for me to pick. But I guess Dr. Stone, it feels more unique than the other ones.
Also,
I'm not happy with it.
Also, villagers, they're all wearing high heels. Like Tinkerbell's dad,
I hate
the
the
blonde
characters.
hair, the dark beard. I'm like, okay, that was a
I
choice. Give
specifically
it to
hate
that.
so many of the character designs in Dr. Stone.
Yeah, but it's just the
That-
only
I'm
one
giving
that
it to
feels-
Carolyn Tuesday because I think that aesthetic's just better. And when I think of character design, and I can look at that character and be like, I get what's going on with that character,
Okay, I
and
see it,
like it
yeah.
from first glance. Even though I'm not super familiar with the entirety of the show, for me, that's what I'm gonna pick. I think there were stronger character designs.
in different anime.
This nomination was quite interesting. JoJo should have been on there, but you know what? Moving on.
Yeah. Let's just move on.
All right. So,
It was score.
What is this for?
best score. Nomination for best
nice.
score.
So, Attack on Titan, Season 3,
I don't know.
Carolyn Tuesday, Demon Slayer, Dr. Stone, JoJo's Bizarre. See, but like JoJo's on this
Yeah.
one,
Yes.
right?
No, it's
So
silly.
Golden win the first intro even too, like,
Yeah.
and then Shield Hero, like
Oh, how was the music in Shield Hero, Colton? Do you remember it?
it's not
Oh,
remarkable. Like, I really feel like they were just like, what's the like anime that the people who might not have seen all these other ones might have seen? Let's just put one of the big ones on there and do it. No, I mean for me, Golden Wind
Yeah, Golden
is my
Wind.
favorite, and That's what these awards kind of are, so that's my pick. Like,
I listen, I saw All Caroline Tuesday, and I get what they're doing with the music, and I appreciate the range of music. I like pop music. I'm not trying to be like a stick in the mud here.
How dare you?
But none of it really vibed with my style, so I'm still on JoJo on this one. Like, I mean, and that's against the great music of Demon Slayer, which I'm tempted to pick, but...
I mean, the Giorno piano theme has penetrated
Yeah.
culture in a
It's
way
a meme.
that,
It's
like,
become a meme.
I mean, that's unignorable.
You can't
Like,
put that heavy hitter on the list, but what
Yeah.
do you feel?
I'm gonna go against you both. I actually really enjoyed Caroline and Tuesday.
It's good.
Yeah,
I understand that. I understand it.
So with Caroline Tuesday, it was kind of those animes where it's just like, you've had a long day, you're a little stressed. If you put Caroline Tuesday on and you hear the music, you're instantly in just like in a
I've
much
just
better
already
mood.
seen Cowboy Bebop. I'm sorry.
To be fair,
Stop
Cowboy
it.
Bebop is not on this
Stop
list. That's
it.
the true winner here.
They don't even play any jazz. Like, get over it.
But no, I just really like the way the music is, and like for me, it's just like if music can just completely switch my gear.
That's fair, yeah.
I enjoy it. Now I love JoJo Bizarre Adventure. It's like when I hear that music, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to fight somebody. Who's gonna go
Exactly.
down? But
The
with Caroline
fire.
and Tuesday, it's a much more calming feel. So my vote's definitely
That's
to
fair.
Caroline
I
and
think-
Tuesday.
I think all of these had great scoring.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
But when JoJo's on a list for me, like,
true.
it's just yeah.
All right. So the
Respect
next.
to all of them.
Oh boy.
Best fight scene.
Oh, boy,
Ooh,
next
this
This
fight
is the
scene.
heavy hitter. For
This
us.
is the problem.
Okay, so we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Crimson versus Metallica.
That fight. They picked that fight.
We have Attack.
probably one of my favorite fights
Yeah,
like
go
from
on.
the series.
Go on.
Oh, there's much more. We have Levi versus Beast Titan from Attack on Titan Season 3. We have Mob versus Taichiro from Mob Psycho. We have Tanjiro and Nezuko versus Ryu from Demon Slayer. We have Thorfinn versus Thorkill from Vinland Saga. Sorry. And then we have Fate, which I have not seen. Okay, so fight scene.
What's the Fate one?
Yeah, Colton's probably seen this one.
Yusi Wakamaru versus Taima?
Oh, Tiamat.
Tiamat,
gotcha,
okay.
gotcha.
I like there's been some good scenes from JoJo. But with Crimson and Metallica, it wasn't really a fight scene. It was a thirst scene for me because I wasn't really wait, let me explain myself. I wasn't really a big fan of Metallica, but then when that fight scene, I saw a whole nother side of Metallica. I was just like, oh boy, this diva, calm down. Calm down. So it wasn't really a fight scene. I definitely give it more to Nezuko, Tanjiro, and Ryu because that was the animation scene where everyone was just like, "Oh my god, this is anime right here."
We did a whole episode on that episode
Yeah.
specifically,
Yeah.
and how it proved to us that like Demon Slayer became a masterpiece.
Exactly.
To me, it's the pivotal one. As well.
Absolutely. Well, it just, as far as the story goes, it was so friggin' cool. It looked beautiful. It had like the classic One Piece Zoro. Let me go back into my memories and see what my master told me. You know, like that whole thing. and it
You're
fit.
samurai.
It,
like-
Yeah.
it was like a thread of everything I've known. My life is in danger. Like my sister's life is on line. It was so exciting and great. So obviously that's my vote. But I do want to give a couple shout outs here. Levi versus Beast Titan was the most cathartic moment of animation.
True.
I have like just seeing the Beast Titan be like, oh, is that? that was
Yeah,
electrifying.
yeah.
I wouldn't call it a fight. I'd call it a massacre.
Yeah.
It's a good scene, but yeah, it doesn't have like when I think fight scene, so I want that
Right.
diametric opposition
Yeah, you
of
want a
one
fight.
force versus another.
Exactly. And Thorfinn versus Thorkill was a fun adventure that spanned multiple episodes.
I was about to
a
say with
blast.
that. So with
I love him.
Thorfinn and
love
Thorkill,
Thorkill.
there's a lot of fight and a lot of action in Vinland Saga, but I feel like when they're fighting, it's not really like, oh, this is a big battle. It's just like a playful hit. It's just like, haha,
Right, it's-
throwing punches. That's it.
It's a sportsman, kind of duel-esque thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It speaks a lot about the values of the characters, and it's really cool. And shout out to Thorkill, but like
It's at the end of the day, it's kind of a slow it's a
Yeah.
slow burn.
No,
like,
exactly, and it's not, and they're in a whatever. The point is, as a fight goes, as a brutal fight goes, the Demon Slayer's gonna win.
All right, next category is best couples right in time for Valentine's Day. So we have Baki and Kozui from
Baki's on this
Baki.
list?
Baki's on the list, dude.
Hell!
But his fight scene doesn't make it.
None of his anything has been on the rest of this. But Baki, we're gonna count as a 2019 anime.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Netflix didn't release the second half until the spring, so it's just on the list, okay?
Oh, we have Afu and Ritsuka from
Love
Given. We have Rou and Mabu from
Yeah, no, you didn't know that?
No, we haven't finished the series.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a spoiler right here from Sarumai. We have Rika and Shun from Maidens in Savage Season.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an anime?
I didn't see it.
Okay, we have Yumi and
I
Historia
don't
from...
know if...
Attack on Titan? Okay.
Oh, I missed one. Oh my god. And then we have Kagura and Miyuki from Love is War.
War.
Okay.
Now, this is down to the nitty gritty here, because Love is War, they are so cute, but they're not a couple. So I feel like that disqualifies them personally. So I'm going to go with Baki on this one, because they...
Vote for Baki on something.
Gotta do it. Gotta get my punches in. No, but honestly, it's cute. It's one of those things where they're already a couple, but they're going through sort of like awkward things, and it's really interesting to see Baki, who is
That's really cool to see like their dad show up in the bedroom and be like, "You guys boning or not?"
Okay, all right. Listen. They're dealing.
Okay,
we're dealing.
I agree.
Both,
even want to hear that.
both of you can shut up.
Like, it's true. It's just like, okay, so they have this tournament, they're fighting, but like, let's be real here. This is like the cutest couple I've ever seen on this list. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Baki and his girlfriend are in an actual relationship, and they're trying to make it work despite living in a crazy, brutal martial art anime bullshit.
People
And
just coming to fight Baki, and he's just like, look, I'm just trying to spend time with my girlfriend. Can I just like
Exactly.
take her out on a date or something?
just trying to
Just like his dad is like, can I bone my girlfriend, please? Like, let's make this happen,
give
please.
the man some room, exactly. And
He doesn't have room. People keep trying to fight him, and he's just like, I want to spend time with my girlfriend.
So I think that that's awesome that he's like, no man, all of you suck. I don't want any of this. I just want to spend time with my girl. I feel like they're a great couple personally, and they make each other grow. I would have voted for Love is War if they were together, but they're not together.
They were trying, but they weren't official couple yet. They cute, but if it's not official, it doesn't count. Also, why is this is not
Amir
a
and Historia?
they're not a couple. I feel
couple.
They're a couple, but
I
they're
feel
not.
like a sister bond between them.
What?
I've
What?
never
Manga, okay.
No,
I never read the manga for
they're-
one Attack on Titan, so that's fair.
They're-
But
it's
I
not
feel
a-
like it's more of a sister relationship with
No.
these two.
that's a hard no,
it's
Chief.
not. No, I get what you mean though. Like it's coy. It's very coy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was written a long time ago in the sense of like
True.
they still just didn't want to, for whatever reason, he wasn't like, yeah, I mean if that anime came out nowadays or that manga was written nowadays, they would have been like, yeah, they're boning. Like, what are you talking about?
So
Like,
that's my
Yeah.
sign that I need to go back and read it.
abstain. I think Gorilla and Girl from Dr. Stone should have gotten this, like a hundo.
that's
Way better. Like, are you
as
kidding
far
me?
as like a unit,
As
like
like
working
yeah.
a unit
together.
and a couple and being cute. I abstain from any of these nominations.
All right,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. All right, let's get to the voices.
Oh, here we go.
All right. So nominees for best voice actor performances, Japanese. Okay. We got Mamoru Miyano, who is played by Ryo Niboshi in the anime Sarazanmai. We've got Sori Hayami, who is Shinobu Kocho, Butterfly Girl from Demon Slayer.
Moshi Moshi.
Yuichi Nakamura for Bruno Buccarati in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind. Yukino Satsuki, played by Ai Magasi in Babylon. Yuko Kaida, who plays Isabella in The Promised Neverland. Yusuke Kobayashi, who plays Senku in Dr. Stone.
Ooh, so this was a good list. This was definitely a good list, but we got to give it to Mama Bruno.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mama Bruno, let me tell
Arrivederci.
you, Arrivederci, exactly.
His him being forced to have to use Italian, American, or English. Sorry,
Sorry.
little American, but like no, his ability to have to play a foreign character, also doing Japanese and putting all the voice right. Again, it's JoJo, we love it.
Awesome.
And, I mean, you gotta do like they give you one of those hot water bottles, and you gotta like blow it up and pop it with just your lungs before they let you play a JoJo character.
Yep.
Like you gotta scream, boy. And he got his ora-oras in there, and he even had his own variation. He was Bruno had a very strong voice.
I loved a lot of these characters that were on this nomination, like Butterfly Girl. I love her, but you gotta
yeah.
give it to Bruno. Like true leader, true mother, and such an absolute badass. Teach me, Mama Bruno. Rest in peace.
All right, now I love to do the English. This is our English version of voice actor performance.
I'm excited for
which
this
most
one.
of us probably haven't heard most of it.
I've heard two, so I'm
But
really excited for this one.
So first up is Kyle McCarley, who played Shigeo Mob Kageyama in Mob Psycho 102. Laura Bailey, who played Toru Honda in Fruits Basket. Eric Mendez, who played Retsuko in Agretsuko Season 2. Billy Kametz, okay, that's like a veteran there. Now Fume in The Rising of Shield Hero. Faye Matza as Aqua in Konosuba.
Oh, I lied. I heard 3 of these people.
And Casey Mongilio, who played Shinji in the Netflix re-release of Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Wait a minute. So that is actually the original voice actor.
No. They had a
they
person
had
it's
But
a
this
re-release.
isn't okay.
Which is just garbage. It shouldn't be on this list.
That's
Cut.
stupid.
Cut immediately.
Okay, so
I haven't heard any of these voices.
I've heard 3.
So you're just gonna recuse yourself?
I mean, I like Aqua, and I'm sure the voice actor did a good job.
She did. That's my pick.
Yeah.
She did. Then I'm gonna throw it for Aqua.
It's like not the same. Like a whiny Japanese young adult woman is such a specific character archetype.
But did she nail it?
But she doesn't nail it, but she does a good job.
Okay.
And I'm like,
Okay.
you know
for
what?
Aqua.
That's as close as we can culturally get, because it's just not a cultural archetype we have over here.
You have to completely invent it with the American
exactly,
voice
and
actor.
she gets it there.
Good. Then that's
All right,
my vote.
so I'm going to go to my homegirl, OG, Laura Bailey. So for someone who watched Fruit Basket back in 2001 and that they announced that our girl is coming back for the 2019 adaptation, and I heard her voice in the first episode, and I watched all 20 episodes again. I cried. She did a phenomenal job. 18 years later, she did a phenomenal job.
Who's the cat boy?
Catboy?
Yeah.
Kyo.
When she heard his voice for the first time,
I literally spilled coffee on the wall.
and-
we were
and
watching.
me,
We were
and
watching.
me. She spilled my coffee in my fucking face.
We were watching on the couch, and of course, the wall's right behind the couch. Just smack. But it's just hearing the OG cast again after all these years.
Yeah, that's really cool. That they
It's
did that.
really
That's
cool.
really cool.
So I definitely have to give it to Laura. Good job, Queen. I loved it so much. Excited for season 2. All right, next category.
Is best comedy. We've got
Oh boy.
Agretsuko Season 2. How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift?
That is funny.
Isekai Quartet.
Oh.
Kaguya-sama Love is War. My Roommate is a Cat.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarazanmai.
Okay.
We haven't watched all of these, and I admit that first off.
We've seen a
but
little bit.
yeah.
Isekai Quartet has some great,
It's cute.
great character chibi forms. I love them. One of them is my phone backward. Background.
Backward.
I'm getting flustered even thinking about my girl. But no, Love is War is hilarious.
Love is War is pretty.
Freaking hilarious. I love Love is War.
Love is War is definitely
so funny.
pretty funny. But I'm gonna have to give it to How Heavy Are Your Dumbbells? Because again, we never really had an anime where it's like, let me teach you how to work out. And there are struggles when you work out, and they do show the struggles of working out. So it's definitely a good comedy. After a long day, you're just like, all right, let me learn a little bit about working out. And they're just like, sometimes you'll get super exhausted if you overdo it. And I'm like,
Yeah, muscle
that's
recovery.
me.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're relating more
Yes.
to
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
And
yeah.
The comedy's relatable to
Relatable
you.
comedy, yeah.
There we go. I didn't.
Personally, like the isekai one, I don't find that format funny, to me, at all to me. But I like My Roommate is a Cat was funny, which is this is its first appearance on this list.
Yeah, we watched some of that. That was
It's
funny.
cute, it's funny, but I'm in complete agreement with you, Brianna. It's How Heavy Are the Dumbbells.
Yeah.
Again, relatability and just the timing of. I'm like, no, I mean, if I wanted to laugh out of this list of anime, I'd go watch that.
Also, one of the characters, she's a cosplayer, but she has to kind of hide in disguise. And I'm just like, if this is not relatable, exactly. You don't want the students to know. I feel that on a relatable level. So thank you.
Even that just thing where she's like, I'm a teacher going to a gym and my students go here and I just don't want to fucking deal with that.
Exactly.
I was like, that's relatable
Yeah.
as fuck.
Oh, that's funny. No, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, next category is best fantasy.
Okay.
So we have Ascendance of the Bookworm.
Okay. Yeah, I never
Okay.
heard of that
We have Lost in Space.
That's a sci-fi.
We have Attack on Titan Season 3. We have Demon Slayer. And we have Araruzumai and Promised Neverland.
I don't like any of these choices.
Yeah, for
For
fans.
fantasy?
I get fantasy is I like the categories fantasy as like that medieval fantasy, like kind of like specifically
a little bit of that, right?
for the most part. Like that's
want
where I think when I
something.
think fantasies, I'm like, oh, so you're using like the tropes of the world that has elves and magic and
Yeah,
I
that's
think magic.
fantasy.
I think magic is the most important element to fantasy.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
okay.
I get that. That's not what fantasy means, especially as like a category. But I don't like any of these.
I have a
Like,
question. When
As-
did slime end? Did it not end in 2019?
It's still going.
True, but didn't season 1 end in 2019?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like, either way, that would be my pick if I could pick one of these.
Yeah.
I mean, Ascendance of a
from
Bookworm
Bookworm.
looks like that looks more like a fantasy,
Fantasy,
of these
but we
other
haven't
things,
seen
but
it.
we haven't seen
No,
it.
yeah, it's
I guess.
I've read Lost in Space. Like I read the whole manga. It's a complete sci-fi. I don't understand why it's on here. Like they're
sci-fi is fantasy.
True.
It's
true.
I would
Exactly.
I
This-
would
it's
argue the opposite in every fiber of my being. Like, what do you?
I guess in a sense I would for fantasy demons and monsters can be a
Demon
thing.
Slayer's
So I
gonna
would
be my vote,
definitely
yeah.
give it to Demon Slayer because again, demon
Yeah,
monsters.
yeah. Viewing this as the category being what is the one that's not slice of life. Like,
Yeah.
I guess I'd go with Demon Slayer. Sure.
Well,
like-
with Demon Slayer, it does focus. It is traditional Japanese folklore.
I would say it's the
100%.
closest to what I would consider
Yeah.
fantasy.
Yeah,
normally,
absolutely.
I mean, I guess Promised Land, but they really don't really show the
I-
monsters. It's more of a
I
drama
don't-
than
I
a
don't think it's
fantasy,
the-
but
I don't think like it might be the best. Like it might be a really good fantasy, but I don't think it's any of these are the best at being fantasy.
There
you
You know
go.
what I mean? And,
And
that's
hey,
that's how I look at categories.
yeah.
like
maybe
this.
we're all being fools in adolescence of a or
Let us
Ascendance
know
of a bookworm.
what your
In the
favorite
comments.
fantasy is in the comments below.
all right, next category is best drama.
Okay.
So we have Babylon, we have Caroline and Tuesday, we have Fruit Basket,
Uh-oh.
we have Stars Align, and we have the Promise Neverland. Okay, see, this is a better category for Promise Neverland.
And then we got Vinland Saga.
So it
that's
wasn't
on
just
there.
Vinland
both.
Saga.
And Vinland Saga's in this one, so they're not even trying to separate fantasy and drama from being separate
Yeah.
things in their list too. Like again, I just don't quite understand these categories. I
Right,
guess.
right.
Well, my vote immediately goes to Fruit Basket, and this is going back from why I did not choose Toru Handu as a best protagonist. So with Fruit Basket, this being a drama, it
little
focuses on not just Toru, but you have to have all the characters to make it a great show. Now it's Toru, it's Kyo, it's Yuki, it's dog's name. What's his name?
I don't, babe.
Fido.
Shush. Fido.
Pluto, Goofy. I mean, Maru something.
Anyway, we got everybody. Like you
Something Maru.
you rely on everyone to make
It's a cast.
to bring the story
Yeah.
together.
No,
The
I get you.
cast, yeah.
I had a similar thought when we were talking about his protagonist too. That I don't know what I'd point to in Fruits Basket as the antagonist that like would
Right.
be directly opposed to Toru Handu.
I
either.
do.
yeah,
But
yeah,
have
you
you
could,
seen
but
have
I-
you seen all of it?
Yeah, but
Okay,
I'm
so
just
you
saying, like,
could.
it's got like the protagonist of Fruits Basket is a more I would say abstract, and
Right. Yeah.
tangible
Now,
as well too. So it doesn't categorize. In
Yeah,
that
so
way
we,
as
we
well.
love Toru, but
as
it's
well
like
either, yeah.
she's not really like just the main one.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta like rely on everybody.
When I was watching Fruit Basket, 'cause I sat down and I watched it with you, and this is my first time seeing it, and I was always curious about what the hype was. This definitely gets my pick as best drama.
Mm-hmm.
That was the definition of a drama. It was intense. It was emotional.
You get the
I was
feels.
not expecting it. There were a couple moments where, like the seahorse guy. Like I was just blown away by some of the depth and power
Haru.
of because Toro seems like she's just your classic
Shigure,
anime
that's
girl.
his name.
Okay.
See, took a second.
So-
We got it.
So like it's like this is just your classic anime girl, but like how she fixes all these people's broken hearts, how she
Yep.
accepts them, and how much trauma they've been going through, and we get to the end, the final couple. I was completely blown away as someone who's not normally even like. I don't watch those kind of anime.
You don't
ever.
watch slice of life.
I
you don't
don't-
watch drama. It's all the
I don't.
fighting and shonen.
punching.
Yeah, and
Kyo does a little bit of punching.
and put
He's
that
a little fighter.
and put that on my gravestone. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Like it's all about the punching. But
Why-
Hell
Garland.
better have punching.
it was nice, but more punching.
Yeah.
But the point is, yeah, this was incredible. This was a masterclass in drama, and even I and my dumb ass could tell that. So
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
my vote.
I've read the manga for Fruits Basket. I haven't watched this anime, so like I'm not super familiar. Of the ones that I'm familiar enough with, I would say Carol and Tuesday was the one that I liked as a drama.
All right.
Just because it has that Ozu style, what I like to go to Japanese media for drama.
Okay.
Like kind of like slow, like kind of through life, like like
Oh, I want
Yeah.
those
beat by beat
cuts.
to life. That's what I like. I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
All right, we have the nominations for best opening sequence.
What's on this nominee?
I know. We have "Kiss Me" by I'm not even gonna pronounce because there's a lot of X and O's.
From Caroline Tuesday.
Caroline Tuesday. We have the opening from Just a Girlfriend. That's an anime. Okay.
Fire Force.
Yeah. Okay.
Had a very strong opening.
We have Mob Psycho. We have Promised Neverland, and we have Vinland Saga.
The fire. That was okay. On fire.
Okay.
I liked Vinland Saga because it's like it's progressive metal. Like, I'm sorry, that's gonna be my pick. Like, as far as an opening, nothing got me more. It felt like the most appropriate opening.
It works for its show really well. Specifically,
exactly.
I get that.
Every time I watched it, I was like, yeah, dude, let's watch this anime about Vikings.
Yep, we're rolling back in time here. It's like the Game of Thrones thing where it gets like, all right, I am prepared to watch what this show is now.
Absolutely.
For sure. Okay.
Absolutely.
I did like the metal in Vinland Saga because it took me back to my old emo days, and I would always scream in his face when the metal came on.
Yeah.
But I will have to give it to Promised Neverland because I love Ubi World.
On fire.
I saw them live in Japan.
On fire.
And honestly, with the music itself and the type of show we saw, it gave like a weird upbeat music, like this like jazz, we're about to like dance, and I was like, okay, but then when you watch the show, it's like all hell's about to break loose.
I feel like it infused the show with a lot of like serious drama about what didn't necessarily feel that serious about it. Like, because you watch the Promised Neverland, and you're like, this is kind of
it gives you that chill out like moment as you go in. Like.
Yeah, but it was an interesting. I felt like the opening complemented it.
Yes,
right.
Exactly. It wasn't just a direct. It was like, okay, so there is a lot more intrigue here. Interesting.
Because like if you just look at the kids, you're just like, this is a show about kids, and then you hear them opening, and you're like,
it's about revolution. It's about energy.
It ties that theme like which is I guess for like in a vacuum is how I thought of this category more. I think Mob Psycho 102.
Okay.
For me, I was like, this is a good opening. Like this fits like what this anime is and what this character wants to be. And again, like you said, best version of it up to this point. It was kind of my pick.
I'm just really upset that Love Is War was not on this category because if you have an opening that literally says the name of the show, instant win. I'm just saying.
And the funniness of it, like it was like a it was like a spy drama thing. It was cute. And hey, shout outs to Fire Force's animation. Looked great.
Editing those videos, I have that song stuck in my head. I can literally sing the entire thing. Thanks, YouTube. And our very last category is best ending.
Ending on ending sequences.
Which is weird because we don't really watch a lot of endings and we get called out for it.
I am a person who skips ending sequences.
Yeah.
Like,
we're just like, all right, the show's done.
Well, there's one of these.
We've got an episode to react to in the room, okay? We can't let ourselves
We
cool
can't
down.
call exactly. All right, so we have the ending for Caroline and Tuesday. We have the ending for Dororo. We have the ending for Fire Force. We have the ending for Love Is War, and we have the ending for Surazami, and we also have Vinland Saga, which I don't think we've ever heard of the ending.
Wait, I was normally just like
I'm like, there's an ending for that?
For Vinland Saga, I normally just needed to stand up and like throw an axe into a wall after watching an episode because I was just so hype. But they do have a pretty good ending one for Vinland. It's like this like Celtic flute sort of style thing. But Love Is War
I'm in agreement,
had the meme song.
I'm gonna say, like, again, there are you can type in the ending. There are so many videos. There are so many people inspired to do the actual dance of the ending. So that's definitely my pick for sure.
It's an ending that got me to pay attention to the ending. So for me, I was like, yeah, you're the only one that did that. So
it was extremely fun, and it brought an extra layer of characterization to a side character we didn't even get to see that much.
This is why Chica is best girl.
I mean, that's again, honestly, 50% of the reason she's best girl is because of her.
Do you see any of these characters on the nomination list doing a dance like that? No, I didn't think so. So Chica,
also,
best girl.
It was
Sorry.
a cool, fun, innovative thing they did for the anime. Like they didn't have to do that for the anime. You know? What I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was cool. All right, guys.
But that's our nomination.
So
wow.
Those were our picks. Put your picks if you disagree with us below, but also, what is the anime you think got slept on through these awards?
Yeah.
Snubs is really what the Oscar discussion is always about. So let us know what anime you think got snubbed in the comments below. Before we get out of here, I do like to say, what have you guys been working on this week? What's going on in Wyatt's life?
Oh, in my life? Well, recently we've been upgrading the old Garlando studio. So we've been getting I've been doing freelance work and a bunch of, artwork on like broken computers and like a couple of shoestrings I tied together to a board. Like I've been going off the rails and it's been really messy. And I like it that way because I'm like, whatever, I don't need anything fancy. But recently we've been investing a lot in stuff and it's been nice. So I'm looking forward to being more professional with art. Still looking into the webcomic work I've been doing. Definitely outlined the characters more. I gotta again simplify the story. I talked about that last time, but I also did a new logo. So yeah, my Instagram at Wyatt Gorehand. I'm gonna
It's all changed up.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a new logo. Well, we did a lot of work for the Clash KO channel. I wanted to work on the logo and the end cards and the background for that, so that got me really inspired to do my own logo. And I feel like it's really I feel like it's just finally like reached a maturity that I'm happy with,
The Florida man.
I'm the burning fire, man. I'm the Florida fire. So yeah, so definitely it's all coming together, man. January has been.
Yeah, I can't believe it's already over, man. What a month.
And how was your January?
All right, so we've been doing charity streams all over on Twitch at Die Hard Diva, twitch.tv/Die Diva, and we just finished our charity streams for Australian Red Cross. We raised over $250, which is fantastic. Once again, thank you to the community who helped out raise money for this charity and helping those who were affected by the wildfires. So it's been very good, very good. Excited to go into February, continue to do more of a consistent stream schedule instead of having to like balance it through work and streaming. So it's been pretty nice. What about you, Colton?
Well, work, again, it's the same thing. Start of the year for everybody. So at work, we've been working on the relaunch of our video series and stuff, and like they're bringing me on as like a host and like doing production on videos. So I've been learning so much about like the most flammable cheese and like drinking coffee that's been shit out by cats and stuff. I've been like designated like the food and nature guy. So my production schedule has just been amping up for this year as well.
Well, what I think what we've been doing a lot of is just working on Clash KO in general, right?
Yeah.
And we've been taking another like layer on top of it.
And by the time this episode drops, you guys will see some of that work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyways, guys, thanks. We'll have another episode next week. Of course, please hit that like button on this video if you're watching. If you're listening on iTunes or podcasting platform, please go rate us on iTunes. It definitely helps us out. Until then. 眠れない闇